Hey guys, well, we're back and we're going to continue with making our St. Patrick's Day dinner, which we're having tomorrow night. And you got to have something green for dessert. So I am going to adapt one of my mom's recipes from the 70s. I remember when we first had it. It's called Grasshopper Pie, and it has creme de menthe and creme de cocoa in it. And we were very young, and we thought it was just such a big deal that we were having a piece of pie that had some kind of liquor in it. Oh my gosh. That being said, we're going to move on. And what I have here is, now you can buy an Oreo cookie crust. All done, period, end of story. You don't have to do any of this. So I obviously am making it more difficult. And all I have are Oreo cookies in here. I have 32. I'll probably have plenty for the top. So what I do is I always take something, you can put it in a food processor too. That makes it easy. But my food processor is outside in the garage and I don't feel like going to get it. So I'm going to just smash them. And once I get them smashed, I'm going to hit them with a rolling pin, and that ought to do it. Looks good to me. So now, rolling pin. I do know that there are easier ways to do things, but for some reason, I like to do it. I'm not going to say the hard way, because that doesn't sound very smart. But I like to do it from start to finish. How about that? Does that make any more sense? All right. Now these are all mushed. Looks pretty good to me. I mean, and honestly, you can have all kinds of, I make lots of homemade cookies, but you know what? The smell of Oreos smashed up, that's pretty darn good, I must say. All right, I'm going to smash them up just a little bit more. This is my husband's coffee cup, by the way. All right, that looks good to me. There we go. I mean, it really does look good. It smells wonderful. Here are 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Sticking that in the bag. I'm going to seal the zip, and I'm going to mush it up and get it all blended in. Now, these, obviously, you can also do this with, the chocolate wafers that you can get in the baking section. But I live in a small town. Sometimes those things are hard to find. The creme de menthe is certainly a challenge. I went into 2 liquor stores that looked at me like I had 3 heads. So it's probably been way easier in my food processor, or even more so if I would have just bought the chocolate chip crust. But there you have it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray, because you know me and my spray. And I'm going to spray it just because it'll make it easier to come out. This is a no-bake pie, so we're going to just put it in the freezer. But still, it could have a tendency easily to stick. So, and I guess I can use that. So you're just going to put it in your pie pan. Let's start off small and work our way up. Then take the bottom of my measuring cup and crush it in. And I do need more. I did pick a deep dish pie though, or pie pan. I have 9 people coming for dinner, or that will be here for dinner, including my husband and myself. And and I'm going to make 2 desserts, actually, because my husband's a big baby, and he's not real fond of mint chocolate. How can you not like mint chocolate? That's just wrong. But he isn't, so I am going to make this because you gotta have a green dessert for St. Patrick's Day. Plus, most sane people like mint chocolate. And here we go. And then I'm gonna make a chocolate Oreo cookie cake too. So you can have your choice if you don't like the mint chocolate pie. All right, looks pretty good, guys. Ta-da! Let me hold it up. See? And so what I did was I just kind of used this to form it, and I'll put my hands in here in a minute. But I wanted it to go up the side too, so we'd have a little bit of a back bar on it. That looks really good. And see, when we're done with this, we're going to put it in, when we get it filled, we're going to put it in the freezer overnight, and it will freeze. And let me wash my hands. And it's, from what I remember, honestly, I don't remember. I was very young the last time I had it. But I do know that it was mint and chocolate, and I love those two things. So this I'm going to put aside for the moment. My corned beef and cabbage is over here. If you watched before, we've got corned beef and cabbage cooking over there, and it just came to a boil, and it's smelling like corned beef in here. Okay, so then the next thing that we're going to do is, I've got a pot here, and I'm going to add to it 2 things of orange fluff. And I'm sorry I'm seemingly disorganized today. Sometimes I can get it together, other days not so much. Okay, so we're going to add 2 things of fluff. Now my mom's recipe says 24 large marshmallows. Well, I'm thinking when she got this, fluff wasn't yet out. Or if it was something that was too fancy for my mom to buy. So I'm just cutting to the chase a little bit, and I'm using this fluff. And it says 2 7-ounce, and this is what this is. You know, I remember one of my friends liking what she called a fluffernutter sandwich, which was peanut butter and this stuff. And I gotta imagine that was a really sweet deal. Sweet, like sweet, woohoo! Sweet sandwich. Okay. Stuff is sticky for sure. And here's the other one. Come on out of there. There we go. I'm fighting with the fluff. I went and got my hair cut this morning, so it's kind of laying down flat. It was also a little rainy when I got home, so didn't have much of a, it's actually thundering out there pretty good. It didn't have much of a chance to survive today. So it is what it is, and I got a flat head. So to this, we are going to add 2/3 cup, there it is, of milk. And actually it says half and half, so that's what we're going to use, 2/3 cup of half and half. I always shake my stuff just because, especially when it's anything other than just straight, even though milk, I shake milk too, so nothing settles to the bottom. So it says to add this, put it over heat, melt it together, and then we got to let it cool. So I'm going to put this on the stove. I'm going to melt it together. I'll come back to you when it's melted, so you don't have to wait for that part. And so I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so we're back here, and this is the marshmallow that is mixed with, that I melted the marshmallow fluff with the heavy whipping cream, 2/3 of a cup. And it says as soon as you get done, put it on in an ice bath. And so this is just another pot that has ice cubes in it. And the reason is, which I can tell you now, because I haven't never made this before. You gotta be fearless, you gotta figure this out. But it'll be good, I promise. Is that it's sugar, it's all sugar, right? That's what marshmallows are. So even though it's melted, it's gonna continue to cook because it's so molten lava hot. So it'll crystallize on the bottom. So don't be afraid of it. It's still, you know, it's not burned, but you need to watch so that it won't, for sure. The other thing I want to tell you is, so it's calling for a cup of heavy cream whipped. I don't know why you couldn't use Cool Whip. I'm sure you could, but you know that I'm not going to, right? You know I'm going to do my own. And when I do, I always put my bowl in the freezer. Ta-da! Bowl in the freezer, because it see how it's nice and frosty cold, because it helps it whip faster. So I'm going to use my whip wire, of course, device here, and it doesn't say to whip it with any sugar or anything. So I'm going to put it in, calling for a cup. So here's a cup, and you know how I am about my liquid measuring cups. Use a liquid cup, don't use a dry measuring cup. So in that's going to go, and we're going to whip it on high speed until it's stiff. It says to whip it till it's stiff. So I'm going to let this go, and I will be back to you when this is ready. Actually, while that's whipping, I wanted to show you something. First off, we are going to, when this is completely cold, which it's getting there real quickly, we're going to add I like my mom's recipe, but on this one better, 2 ounces of creme de menthe and 1 ounce of creme de coco. And I went all over the city of Greenwood today trying to find green creme de menthe. I could only find the clear, so we got green. So I am going to put some green food coloring into my marshmallow here, and I'm going to whip that in. I'm going to put it in that whipped cream too. Well, that certainly doesn't do much for the color now, does it? Let's try this one. That makes it a minty green. I want green. I want St. Patty's green. I think I can take it out of here now, to tell you the truth. It's cold, and that's just enough waiting to happen. Okay, let's see. All right. We got some green happening here. There we go. I like it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And when that starts getting up to its, you can probably put some of that in here. So that it gets green too. Let it do its thing. And I'm going to let that go, but I wanted you to know where the green was coming from. I'll be back. It's still beating. However, it says, the recipe says that once this has cooled, that we should go ahead and mix in our creme de menthe and creme de coco. So I did want to show you that on the side of your Pyrex, you've got, it'll tell you cups, 3/4, a cup, a half a cup, and then here it tells you ounces. And then here it tells you a pint, 2/3, a cup, and all that. So I'm going to go in the middle where it says ounces, and it's telling me 1 ounce of creme de coco and 2 ounces of creme de menthe. So that's what I'm pouring. So there is 1, and then 2. Whoop, excuse me, TV came back on. The TV was on pause, and when it gets loud in this room, it gets loud in this room. Between having this mixer blasting and the TV blasting. But what I did, so I've got this in here. I have 1 ounce of creme de coco and 2 ounces of creme de menthe. And you know I gotta taste this cream mint, right? I mean, it's been a minute. I mean, it's been like, if I've ever actually tasted it, other than this pie when I was a kid. So I gotta taste it. Well, that is minty. That is definitely minty. Well, you know, I gotta taste the cream of cocoa, right? If that is as good minty as that was chocolatey as that was minty. Yum. Alrighty then. Yum. I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do with these because I have 2 bottles of it now, and who knows the next time I'm gonna be making a grasshopper pie, but who knows, maybe we will love this and add it to our regular rotation. You never know. So now it just says to pour this into here. So there it goes. And get it mixed in good. Alright, that's still going. I'll be back when that's done, so you do not have to listen to this. I'll be back in a minute. I'm telling you, I'm losing my mind. I seriously forgot you were with me, so I just started doing my thing. So here's what I did. I took this, the marshmallow mixture that had the cream de menthe and the green one, and this was a stiff peaks. I'm sorry, I can't believe I forgot to show you. And I folded it in here, and I'm just taking it from underneath and gently folding it so that it's all mixed in. All of a sudden I looked up at the camera and went, huh, wonder where they are. So this is where you are. So my pie crust that we just made with the Oreo cookies, I've been keeping that in the refrigerator while I did this, which this really didn't take that long. And so now I'm gonna just pour it in here. And of course, you know I tasted this, right? And it tastes wonderful. I was a little apprehensive because I thought that fluff might make it pretty sweet, but the combination of, because this is just whipped cream, oops, whoops, whoops, whoops. It's just whipped cream. You're like, pretty. And there's no sugar in the whipped cream. So when you mix that with the fluff, it really kind of went overboard, but that's okay. Because now we're going to put it, I'm going to put some cookie crumbs on top, of course. And then we are going to, oops, it's not a good thing. Then we are going to sit it in the freezer and let it freeze overnight. Well, until I cut it tomorrow night. So let's do some of these because the more Oreo cookies, the better. I mean, come on, that's a true story, isn't it? I have a friend who will tell you she never met an Oreo cookie that she didn't love. And you know who you are. I mean, I can truly have a pot full of homemade cookies. And while she loves cookies, she is a cookie girl. She is my cookie girl. But, oh my God. It's hard to talk her out of a homemade one for an Oreo. That's like one of her favorite things in life, I think. All right. And there we go. That is going to be scrumptious. I'm telling you, it will be great. Thank you, Mom. I will show you tomorrow when I cut a piece. I hope I will remember to take a still shot for you so you can see how it comes out of here. But everything in it is good. So far, so good. I'll let you know tomorrow. Have a good night.